In this video, you're going to learn how improving your form can help you lift more effectively, avoid injuries and get better results from your training. My name is John Craig. I've been training for over 20 years and I hold multiple qualifications in health, nutrition and fitness. But I still refine and adapt my form regularly. Why? Because there is always room for growth, no matter how experienced you are. To show you this in action, I have took part in an interesting experiment with my friend Abby, who is over in Texas. Abby is a fellow coach, she is a scientist, she is one of the lucky ones who trains at the home of Gasp and Better Bodies in Destination Dallas. Abby has analysed my form using a special device. Today we are going to analyse her feedback. I hope this shows you that even the most experienced lifters benefit from expert guidance and that no one is perfect. We are always learning, adapting and striving to improve. This is why hiring a coach and getting your form analysed can be so important. I hope that analysis was helpful and showed you the interesting devices that Abby uses to analyse form. And also showing the importance of hiring a coach and getting your form analysed is so important. It's not just about training hard, it's also about training smart. A coach can help you fast track your progress, avoid injuries, avoid other common mistakes you get with poor form, and help you get better results. Now let's switch to the video where Abby's going to analyse my form and let's see what we can learn. As you can see here, I've set myself up, ready to perform the overhead unilateral tricep extension. First of all, I want to touch on something quickly about the triceps. So the tricep has three heads. You have the long head, lateral head, and medial head. So the long head runs along the back of the arm and contributes to the overall size. You will target this with doing a lot of things like skull crushers or overhead tricep extensions like we will do in this video. Head. You have the lateral head, which creates the horseshoe shape, which is always visible on the outer arm. And then you have the medial head too. You have the medial head, which lays underneath the two muscles. Arm is crucial for overall arm strength and stability. Lateral head is really good for tricep pushdowns using a bar or a rope. The medial head is really good for any kind of pressing movements where you get likes of dips or the close grip bench press. What you can see here with the setup, the elbow joint should remain stationary and stable above the head, and that is to avoid injury, ensure proper engagement of the tricep, and avoid using other muscles to help out completing the exercise. Quite often, as you'll see in the tricep overhead extension, is people pressing and using their delts to complete the movement. As you'll see here, as I'm performing the exercises, I'm trying to hold in a stationary position. I'm trying to lock my elbow and have maximum flexion where I'm straightening my arm all the way out into a straight position. You'll see here as well, I also move my wrist to ensure I'm getting maximum range of motion. Just check when you are carrying this out that you are getting the arm into the fully straightened position at the end of the movement. But you also want to be avoiding aggressively locking out the elbows to avoid injury. As you can see here in the first exercise, I was doing a warm-up weight. You can see my elbow locked beside my head. There is a quite slight discrepancy in my shoulder position, which you're always going to get when you are standing with one arm above your head. That's not a big deal here, really, they remain stationary. When I am completing this exercise, I also like to tense my lat and keep everything around my shoulder stable. When you're in that position above your head, there's a lot of tension around your rotator cuff. To avoid injury, I think it's good to brace it with the other muscles around it. You will also see in here where I step quite far away from the machine. That's really important because the angle that you're pulling from will have a direct impact on the mechanical tension throughout the movement. You will see it's a good experiment to try at home if you try increasing the height of the pulley, and you will notice a different tension whether it's at the start of the exercise or at the end of the exercise. It's a very good way to understand the principles of mechanical tension, and you can also adjust the exercise so you've got more tension either on the start of the movement or where you're at full range of motion. You'll also notice in the overhead position, if you don't get the angle correct, there feels like there's almost no tension on when your arm is directly above your head. What you'll see here is I finished up on the unilateral movements. It seemed quite good with the unilateral. It's always easy to keep your elbow in position when you're only using one arm. Now when you move on to the bilateral movement, it becomes much harder. You will see that I remove my thumbs from the bar, and this allows me to twist my elbows inwards without hand flexibility becoming an issue. As you can see here, when I filmed this, I was not aware that the yoga app that I'm using works best when it's face onto your body. This doesn't give the best analysis of when I'm doing the bilateral movement. However, from the demonstration without the weight, you can see the position I'm trying to avoid by bending at the elbows, by pressing at the shoulders. As I demonstrate here, you can see the big difference between the pressing example and the angles and the exercise where I lock at my shoulders. On to the third set here, actually the recording equipment failed on the second one, which unfortunately is probably my best set. This third one here is actually a little bit fatigued after doing the unilateral exercises first, which I would never normally do. This was just for a demonstration and to see how the difference in form was through unilateral, bilateral, and by doing different movements. You'll see here as I start to get tired, the arms start to flare out, the elbows start to flare out. Really what I'm trying to do there is bend the bar towards the camera, but I'll never be able to bend the bar, but it's just a movement. And that brings the elbows inwards and allows you to work directly through them. It also holds a strong position and saves you pressing at the elbows. Now thanks for listening, I hope that was useful for you. If you like these videos, drop a like before, drop a comment to tell me what you like about it, and give me a subscribe. For more tips that I don't share here, if you subscribe to my newsletter, and also drop a comment below if there's anything you would like Abby to analyse in the future. We plan to do a squatting video to analyse my squats. If there's anything else you think would be useful, feel free to reach out. Thanks very much for listening, and I hope this has been as useful for you as it has been for me.